So, exactly how does my home connect to the internet? Well, it's not that easy. You see, just like you might have a local area network at home or at work that connects multiple computers and devices together under your roof, an internet service provider works in a similar fashion. However, it connects all of these networks together before routing traffic onto and from the internet. This can be your home network, a private business, or a public network, such as a local library or a school. RTC connects all of these networks to the internet, which is an even bigger global network of computers sharing information. Now, Josh is going to explain to us in more detail how the RTC network works to connect you.
The central office is the main switching center for a telephone company network, where the main electronics reside that connect us to the outside world. And the remote offices are extensions of the central office. They contain many of the same electronics as the central office. However, we just push the electronics closer to the subscriber and form a distributed network. Well, we use three major access platforms to serve subscribers. We have each of these platforms in the remote offices as well as here in the central office. The customer, we leave their home on either copper or fiber cable and terminate to one of the three access platforms. We have one here, and another here. All three of these platforms have copper and fiber capabilities built in them. We transport from the remote over fiber here into the central office, and then once we get into the central office, we leave the equipment on higher capacity fiber links, and we move over into our switching and routing platforms to get subscriber traffic out to the internet. We try very hard to make sure that all of our services stay up and running all the time. We include protection in every aspect possible, from the card level in the access platforms all the way to the power feeding those platforms. We see here we have a charger system that actually powers the equipment, but we also have battery backups to go along with it. The chargers keep the batteries charged while providing power to the access equipment. We also have a standby generator sitting on the other side of this wall here. So if we do lose AC power, we're run on batteries until the generator fires, and then we're running off generator AC power and the batteries charging again. Well, of course, we use fiber optics in the central office to connect all of our equipment into the core of the network where we switch it and route it out to the internet. But we also use fiber to connect from the central office to the remote offices. And then, even from the remote office, in some scenarios, we use fiber optics leaving there to go all the way to the customer premise. If a customer doesn't have access to fiber optics, then they have copper cable coming from the customer back into their serving remote office, but it touches fiber there and back all the way into the CO on fiber. Of course, we use fiber optics in the central office to connect all of our equipment and then connect it up to the core of the network where we perform our routing and switching. But we also use fiber optics to connect our central office to all of our remote offices. So fiber travels around throughout the remotes and back to create a protected network. And then in some areas, we actually extend the fiber optics all the way to the home. In other areas, we're trying to push fiber further and further out to get closer to the customer. So we're actually deploying smaller nodes that are connected via fiber back to the remote. And then we have copper connectivity from the node to the home. This allows us to provide higher speeds over copper, up to 25 megabits per second, and get us closer to the fiber optic speeds, where we're offering up to 100 megabits per second today.